Namaste. My name is Todd Norian, and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. Welcome to Asana Spotlight. I'm going to invite you all to share this experience to spread the joy. So just send it out to your friends. We bring more light, more peace, more openness into the world. Today's posture is Parivrita Upavista Konasana. Parivrita means rotated, Upavista means seated, and Kona is angle and asana pose. So the rotated seated angle pose. It's a fabulous posture to stretch the hips, the hamstrings, even the calves. And with the rotation, we're going to get a tremendous twist. Twists are the tonics for the spine. They help to balance the nervous system. So if you have a lot of anxiety, this pose will help calm you down. And if you feel lethargic or exhausted, this pose will give you energy. It brings you back to the place in the middle. I want to talk just a bit about one of the teachings in Ashaya Yoga, which is to say yes to life. So saying yes to life is saying yes to the universe, saying yes to yourself. Yes is naturally an opening. It's like opens the door or opens the window to possibility. The thing is, we're greeted each day with various opportunities and moments, and if we keep saying no to things, it closes everything down. No is very boundaried, which is important, but I like to say that we'll say yes first so that you open to the moment without judging it, just receive it, and then you have to step back and say no to create healthy self-boundaries. So we want to find this balance of yes and no. And we just had our first snow this season, and I'm a big avid cross-country skier. And when it snows enough, then I go out to places where they groom the trails. Otherwise, I have a little trail that I create around my house. So I was all set to go. We had the first snow. I'm so excited, and there was so much work to be done. I sort of went down a rabbit hole, and I was at my desk the whole day. Then the sun started to go down, and I said, oh, it's going to be cold, it's going to be dark. And I just said, yes, do it anyway. I put my skis on, I went out there, and I'm so glad I did because I felt fantastic. It was so quiet, so still out in the yard. There's also a little field next door. And I just go back into my little kid playing in the snow when I ski because I have to create the trail and put some snow over the driveway so I can cross over the driveway without getting stuck in the salt or the dirt that's thrown on the driveway. Anyway, I just had a wonderful time, and I realized that we're always going to be able to come up with reasons why not to do something. You know, we're always like, I'm too tired, I'm too old. Like if you're going to do yoga or take up yoga for the first time, oh, I'm too stiff. Oh, yoga's for flexible people. It's like, wait a minute, yoga is like helps you get more flexible. So we throw all these obstacles out in front, mainly because we're unwilling to take a chance, to really risk having an opportunity where we open to life. Saying yes brings a tremendous amount of freedom and relaxation. You do have to trust because saying yes means you might be saying yes to something that maybe you don't want. And I'm saying that that's a risk I'm willing to take because saying yes opens you to the universe. And when we do that, then we give the universe a chance to have our back. That's the other teaching in Ashaya, is that everything in life is for our awakening and that life has your back. The universe has our back. So say yes to it and you'll be amazed at the opportunities that open up. Saying yes invites you into the adventure of life, into the mystery of life. Then life is never boring. There's always something. And you have to have enough confidence in yourself that even if you say yes to something, we do that so that we're not judging everything prematurely. We say yes, then we step back, and we're always free to say no. We need to say no to what's not life enhancing because that's a healthy self-boundary. Many of us, don't say no enough. We should say no so that we can stay healthier. Other times we say yes so much that we just deplete our energy and sort of give our life force away unnecessarily. So when you find the balance of being able to say yes and no, it takes you to the threshold, the place in the middle, where your heart cracks open and you recognize your true nature, which is joy and supreme freedom. So let's get started. Join me standing at the top of your mat. Be there in just a moment. You are going to need a belt, yoga belt at some point. So you can get that ready. Okay, here's the pose of yes. Ready? Stand with your feet parallel, hip distance apart, and just stretch your arms out like this, palms up. And of course we have to say the mantra, yes. Say yes to life. Say yes to your breath. Bring your palms in front and inhale, stretch up, look up. Exhale, bring your arms down. Hug into the yes. Lift and spread your toes. Hug your muscles to the bones. Coordinate the movement with your breath. See if you can synchronize it so that at the top of the inhalation, your palms are all the way up at the top. And at the bottom of your exhalation, your palms return to namaste position. So just sync up the breath. Say yes to the breath. It's like saying yes to the life force, because breath is life. Enjoy the breath. Now the breath is so much more powerful when you're conscious of it. Breath will keep us alive, but we usually don't pay attention. But when you start to pay attention to the breath, you get the extra benefit of yes. The breath is always there supporting life, helping you release unnecessary stress. Some stress is good, but it's the extra stress that brings distress that is good to let go of. Very good. All right, now we'll fold forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lead with your heart, fold forward, and then bow. Say no to whatever's not life-enhancing. And then inhale, heart forward with a yes. Lengthen your side ribs, melt the heart. Exhale, bow. Continue to swing the heart forward and then fold. At the same time, say no to collapsing your legs. So hug your feet toward the middle, and then see if you can isometrically pull your heels backwards. Then heart forward again. Exhale, bow. Continue. Say yes to this movement pattern. See if you can make it feel good. Wonderful. Now, exhale, walk back into downward dog, and alternately stretch your heels. We're going to need the backs of the legs to open up, so this is the beginning of that. Very good. Now bend both knees. Lift your sitting bones as high as you can, but knees stay bent. Take your inner thighs back and create a low back curve. Now say no to collapsing your armpits. So claw your finger pads and roots and pull up from your hands into your heart and lift your armpits up. Then with your armpits, with your head of your arm bones creating the boundary, say yes with your heart. Melt. Soften the thoracic, upper thoracic spine, but keep your arm bones back and find the perfect place in the middle between yes and no. You have just enough freedom and just enough stability. Then from your heart, push your hands, and from your heart, root the base of your shins back. You can keep your knees bent, but root the base of the shins. Find where's the base of the shin. It's right at the ankle. And then you push that area back. That will increase your stretch tremendously. Say yes to it. Now exhale. Right leg forward lunge. Bring your left knee down. Relax for a moment. Right hand on the right leg. Squeeze your legs to the middle. Take your right hip back and then twist and turn your heart up to the right. Head back a little. Shoulders back. Exhale, release. Walk your hands back. Stretch your right leg straight. Now, dig your heel. Push your heel down and isometrically pull back. Say no to collapsing the muscles. We want to learn how to engage with, kind of like a robust yes. So pull back. And then root your right thigh toward the floor. Widen the right thigh, but keep your right shin in. So if you put your right hand on the outer shin, hug your shin so the shin will contract, and widen the thigh, your right thigh, out to the right. So in this one leg, you have a balance of no and yes. You hug the shin, that's your boundary. And you widen your thigh to a big yes. And that's the freedom. And you should feel a much deeper stretch when you do this. And this is one of the secrets of Ashaya Yoga, is we do something that's called functional coupling, where we do two opposite actions that aligns with the anatomy of the body and that just magically opens the body. Because when you align with the nature of your body, it opens. Your body is like a biological yes waiting to happen. But we have to give it the right alignment for it to get there. Awesome. Then touch the floor. Bring your forehead closer towards your knee. Stretch and exhale. Release, bend the right knee, step back to down facing dog pose. And then exhale, left foot forward, right knee down, left hand to the left leg. Squeeze in toward the middle, scissor your legs, and then shoulders back, lift your heart up to the left, and take your outer left hip crease back and down. Take a big breath, say yes to the twist, and then exhale, stretch your left leg straight, back up a little bit with your hands, and then root your heel, pull backwards. Pull your tailbone in and bow. Let's enhance the yes and no in this stretch. So, left hand to the left outer shin, hug in. No is a boundary, it contracts. We want to push the left shin in toward the middle. If you spread your toes, especially toe 4 and 5, that will engage the muscles on the outer shin. And that boundary allows the water element to open. So widen your left hip to the left. We can think of the shin as earth and the thigh as water. The thigh is more connected to the hip. And it's like when you have a steep, strong river bank, more flow can go through. So that's the idea here. Widen your left thigh, say yes to the stretch, and then bow. Place your left hand on the floor, forehead toward the knee or to the knee, and breathe. And exhale, release, step back, plank. Hold plank pose for a minute, claw all 10 fingers. Say no with your arms, I'm not going to collapse. I'm going to melt the heart, yes in the heart, no in the arms. Come to chaturanga. Hold. Say yes to it. You can put your knees down. This is too hard. But just hold. Say yes. Say yes to the challenge. Thighs back, tailbone in. Head of the arm bones up. Squeeze your shoulder blades more onto your back ribs. Okay, then say yes and come down. Okay, that's a nice yes. Stretch your toes back, hug your shins, widen your thighs, pull your tailbone in, and then cobra, come up. And just lift your heart, breathe deeply, the big Yes to back bends. Head of the arm bones back. And breathe. Continue to work the shoulders back and say yes to the heart going forward. Say yes to life in this moment, in this pose. Say yes to the stretch. If there's pain, I would say no to the pain. Come down a little bit. We don't want to have pain in the poses. If it hurts, it should hurt good. So that's a good kind of pain. Exhale down. Inhale, come on up to all fours, then downward dog. Step by step, walk in. Bend your knees, spread your toes, and then root your feet down. Keep your knees bent, stick your butt way back, and then lift your arms up. Utkatasana. Armpits back. This is the intense pose. Utkata means fierce. So the fierce pose, say yes to your fierceness. Yeah, there's a ferocity for the truth. And then root the feet, rise, inhale, exhale, arms down. All right, perfect. Again, feet parallel, hip distance apart. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Take your thigh bones back, tail end. Keep your hips and your chest in the same plane. And just take hold of your right wrist and crescent arc to your left. And give the wrist a little bit of a pull. Armpits back. Really lift your ribs. Now anchor your right foot deeper into the earth. This is part of the Parvrita stretch we're going to get to in Upavista Konasana, but it's much simpler in this standing position, so we'll practice. But I want you to stay with the stretch. Say yes to the ribs and the intercostal muscles. Oh, that play a role in the breath. When the intercostals are tight, it's hard to breathe. Okay, root your right foot down. Inhale, come up. Take hold of your left wrist. Anchor your left leg down. Make sure thighs are back. Tail in. Hips and torso in the same plane. And then crescent. And breathe. Go into it gently at first. Hug to the middle. So squeeze your legs toward the middle. That will create more stability. And then say yes. From your pelvis, push your left foot down more. Pull on the wrist more. Say yes to the stretch. Say yes to the breath and the stretch of the muscles between the ribs. Stay with it. And then root the left foot down to come up. Exhale. Arms down just very slowly. Feel the intensity of the stretch. Now that's good. Say yes to that. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to do one more preparatory stretch and then we'll go into the pose. So come onto your back, grab yourself a belt, and we're going to do Supta Pada Gustasana number 2, which is pretty much the same muscle group that we're going to need to stretch for Upavista Konasana. So put the belt around your right foot, stretch the right leg up. And generate a low back curve. So move your right thigh back, push your left thigh down to the floor. Once you've established your curve, square off your foot, spread your toes. So you want to flex as though you're standing on the ceiling. Very good. Okay, hold both ends of the belt with your right hand and exhale, right leg out to the right. Just go as far as you can without strain. I'm going to move myself over just a bit. Very good. Pull on the belt, maintain the stretch. Now the left thigh will lift a little bit, but keep it down toward the floor. And then externally rotate your right thigh. The outer hip crease externally rolls. Yeah, and that will increase your capacity. Good. Left arm can be on your belly or straight out to the side. One last stretch. And then slowly bring your right leg up and release. Left leg up. Stretch your right leg out and root the right thigh to the floor. Push your left leg back a little. That will ensure the low back curve. And then push from your pelvis straight up. Really the four corners of your feet are up. And it's better to have a flex, but actually we sort of want to have a little bit of a pointed foot. So the ball mounds go up, but the toes curl down. So it's not completely flex. It's a balance between flex and point, which we say is a flointed foot. So floint the foot, and then hold both ends of the belt with your left hand and left leg slowly off to the left side. And breathe, say yes to the stretch. Oh, that feels so good, especially after I skied. So if you do cross-country skiing, you'll know the first time, whole body gets sore. I woke up with rigor mortis this morning in a good way. I said yes to it like I do every morning. So say yes to the stretch, whatever you've got, and breathe. Right hand on the belly or straight out to the right. Pull on the belt just a bit more. So the stretch is good and it's intense. Externally rotate the left hip more. And then hug muscles to bones, slowly come up. Exhale, release. Okay. I'd like to say we're ready for Upavista, Parvrita Upavista, but it's more like ready or not. Here we go. First things first, you want to sit in the angle position. So the legs are wide, but not overly wide. About 90 degrees, a little bit wider is fine. Then manually take hold of your thigh and roll it inwardly. And when you roll it in, bring your hand under your sitting bone, pull the sitting bone back. Do the same thing on both sides. And put your hands behind you. You should be able to sit with a low back curve. If you're not able to, grab yourself a blanket, folded blanket, and just elevate your hips a good 2 or 3 inches. Will assist the low back curve, and that's really important. Flex your feet. I'd like to see that your center ankle and up to the second toe, that line, basically the second metatarsal bone, is perpendicular. There's a tendency for the foot to either turn out if you're too externally rotated, or to turn in if you've overcompensated and you've internally rotated too much. So if you're going to do one of those, it would be better to internally rotate too much, because as you go external like this, the thighs roll out and then the low back bulges back, and we want to prevent that. So with the feet straight up and down, hug your shins. Okay, create the boundary with the shin and say yes. Stick your butt out with a big yes. Thighs go wide. And then imagine you had a giant beach ball between your knees, and you're going to squeeze your knees. And our goal is to get the upper inner knee point down. That is the magic point. Because when that point goes down, the entire back of the leg is down on the floor. Then I'd like you to sense and equally weight both legs. Both sitting bones have an equal pressure on them, equal weight. Please take a moment. You can close your eyes and just sense and feel Where's the weight in your sitting bones? And try to equalize it. Good. Say yes to balance. Okay, so Upavista Konasana is we fold forward. Bring your hands out in front to assist on eagle talons. Elbows are bent. And as you come forward, try to do a back bend first. So shoulders are back. And then you gradually round. As you come forward, especially those who are more flexible, you'll notice the sitting bones on ground. And you want to root the sitting bones. Like plants, no plant likes to be uprooted. So keep your sitting bones down. Pull the tailbone in. And then the spine will naturally round, even rate of change between each of the vertebrae. And fold. Careful not to slouch your shoulders, but continue to lift the head of the arm bones back. Okay. And then root the hips. Inhale, come up. So that's Upavista. Here comes Parvrita. Parvrita, remember, is rotated. So have your belt ready. I'm going to give two variations. One's a little easier. First one is sort of the warm-up. Take your right forearm, bring it perpendicular on the floor to the right knee. Okay, so you have this angle here, and hollow your groins back. That's going to be the most important cue. What does that mean? Just take your thigh bones back, stick your butt out, and say yes to that. There's a little wildness in this. That's good. That's a good thing. Shakti is wild. Okay, so you're leaning here. And then just turn to your left, take your left arm up and do crescent moon. We just did that one, standing. But here it is on the floor. This is what the pose will feel like. Okay, inhale, come up. Let's go to the opposite side. So bring your left forearm perpendicular to the knee. So you have right angle there. And then hollow your groins back. That's the second instruction. And then crescent. So take your right arm up and arc over. Continue to lift your heart up to the right. Take your right armpit back. And you'll start to feel into the muscles that need to open. So it's the outer edge of the low back area, the rib cage area, the hip, and the heart. Root your right thigh down and inhale, come up. So that's really it. I call this bus stop yoga. So if that's your stop, you're going to get off now. Repeat that again. If you can go to the next bus stop, then do that. And of course we have this belt to assist. Let me just show you where we're going. So we start with the elbow in front, and then you bring your right shoulder to the inner right knee. Reach for the inner edge of your right foot with the palm is supinated like that, so it's up. You've got the inner edge, and then the other arm comes into the crescent and you hold the outer edge of the foot. And then here's the window of yes. You push your elbows apart and open up the window. So right elbow is down, left elbow is up, bent, armpits back, and then look out the window. You want to really lift the heart and rotate as much as you can. So that's a challenging position. So let's make it a little easier with the belt. Put the belt around your right foot and hold both ends of the belt with your right hand. And instead of the forearm down, this is the next level, bring your right shoulder as close as you can to the inner right knee. We're just going to hold that for a moment. Now, hug your legs to the middle, hollow your groins back. And that is the key now to go deeper, is you have to really push the groins back. Okay? And over time, you'll notice your right shoulder gets a little closer to the right inner knee. That's important. Keep your right elbow on the floor, hold the belt. Take your left hand up and grab the belt as well. If you can grab your foot, do that. And then open the window. So right elbow down, left elbow up, left elbow back, armpit back more. You gotta suck the armpit back. Look out the window. Open, even if your windows only open a crack, I want you to sniff the breeze. Open it up even more if you can. And if you're this far in it and you can reach for the inner edge of your foot, right hand, outer edge of the foot, left hand, then you can try that. Hollow the groins again, tailbone in. Nice deep breath. Say yes to the stretch. This is so intense, but good. And then root the hips and inhale, come up. All right, second side. Are you ready? Okay, we already tried the first variation, so go to that one, repeat that if that's your bus stop. If you want to go to the next one, hold the belt around the foot and hold it with your left hand. Bring your left shoulder toward the inner left knee. Now hollow your inner thighs and the groins back. That is essential. And continue to do the hollowing action. Yes to hollow. Groins back. Okay, lean your left shoulder closer towards your knee, inner knee. You got your left elbow on the floor, crescent with the right arm, up and over, grab the belt. Certainly you can grab the foot, but try the belt first. And then open the window. So you push your elbows apart. There's a little window and you look under it. Pull your armpits back. Yeah, that's it. Widen your thighs, hollow your groins back, pull your tailbone in more. And try to keep your opposite sitting bone down. So we're going to the left. Keep your right sitting bone down. Oh, that's not easy. Then, if you're this close, hold the inner edge of your foot with your left hand supinated and take your right hand to the little toe edge of your foot. Now, push your elbows apart, open the window, and lift your heart way up to the right. Look through the window, and if you can, I know some of you can, jump through the window so you're 100% yes. Armpits go way back, very deep stretch. Breathe. And then root your hips. Inhale. And come up, release the belt, hold under your knees because you're going to self-assist to bend your knees and bring your feet together, soles of the feet together, curl your toes out. Press the little toe edges of your feet down, heels rise up a bit, hands behind so you can straighten your back, and then just push from your pelvis straight out through your knees. This feels so good. This is Baddha Konasana, bound angle. A wonderful pose to do after that big stretch. Okay, bring your knees in. Sit cross-legged for a moment. Join your index fingers and thumbs, palms down, shoulders back. And breathe. Close your eyes and just draw within. Say yes to the breath and let it bring you into your heart, where you find the universe saying yes to you. Thank yourself for this stretch and for making the time to take care of yourself, learn something new. And just take a moment and say yes to yourself. When you say yes to yourself, it's like saying yes to the whole universe. Life opens up. We're able to seize the opportunities that come our way. And of course, all the while, we're free to say no to all that's against life, that's non-life enhancing. We say no to whatever it is that steals our joy or takes the life force from us. In this way, find the place in the middle between yes and no, deep in your heart. And there, we open to the mystery, the magic of the whole universe. Now bring your palms together in the place in the middle, right in front of the heart. One hand yes, one hand no. And you bring them together in harmony and balance. And from this place in the middle, place of the heart, place of oneness, place of joy, let's chant Om. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Thanks for joining me. For more experiences in Ashaya Yoga, go to ashayayoga.com. Check it out. Say yes to your life. Bye for now.